everybody, welcome back. Movie review time, where we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Godzilla King of the Monsters.
No.
We just saw Gorgor.
What?
Gorgon? We just saw the Beast from 10,000 Fathoms. We just saw Love and Monsters. I can't even remember damn movie. Gamera! Love and Monsters. This is going to be our spoiler review. We're going to talk all kinds of spoilers through here. We may even jump around. We may start right at the end, so you got to be careful for that. So we're giving you plenty of time to click out of the video if you don't want spoilers. But you know, but we do have a no spoiler review. There'll be a link in the description below, or maybe something's popping up right now. But you definitely want to check that out, even if you're looking for spoilers, because it's more of our general overall thoughts about the film. The other thing I want to let you know, we don't consider ourselves reviewers or critics. We just love movies, and we like to talk about movies with y'all and geek out about movies. And I know, like, when I see a movie, I want to go watch YouTubers I enjoy talk about it in all its glory details. So that's kind of what we do here. So, you know, love it or hate it, that's just what we're here for. And I think there's one more thing I usually say. Oh, and then this is, while we're waiting on the no spoiler people to click out, basically, obviously, we didn't go to the theater. We usually film it right out of the theater. These are our fresh thoughts. They could change with time. But we did watch it in 4K on an OLED, you know, 65-inch surround, the whole deal. So we had a pretty good experience with it. It did look gorgeous. But that pretty much covers all that. So you've had plenty of fair warning. So here's where we give you the last chance to click that button and get out of here if you don't want anything ruined for you. Spoilers.
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 Sopresto salami. Sopressata. Spoilers.
Okay.
That's a spicy meatball.
Anywho.
So.
When the aliens...
I know, I didn't have a good one. I was like, let's do the old routine. When the aliens showed up. I mean, in a movie like this, that could possibly happen. It did not, but.
It will, I mean, it's the next best thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, essentially, for me, in a way, this is it is a kaiju movie in the strict sense of what kaiju just means, strange creatures. It's not quite as much of a giant monster movie as I would have expected. Honestly,
there are some giants.
Well, not giants, and really, we see some distant stuff.
Yeah.
We never really get any.
You see some corpses of giant ones.
Well, you see that too. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, there's somewhere to go for the sequel that I would love to see. Because again, we did enjoy the hell out of this movie. But I guess I would have kind of expected they would have built up to some kind of giant monster, but all that was backstory and side story. We do kind of get that giant centipede millipede thing.
If Mary puts on her science hat, she'll go, some of these things can't exist because physics.
I felt like you were getting frustrated with the frog in the pool, because even I kind of noticed, like, as cool as it seemed, to be clear, any critiques right here, they're going to be nitpicks. Like, we could totally forgive them.
Science brain out, and it's a fun romp.
Yeah, and even the science side of it works for a lot of it. But there's a couple of things, like the frog rises up out of the pool and it's standing there, and it's like, well, what is it standing on?
It was standing on the edge of the pool.
Was it?
Yeah, it had its front arms in the front of the pool. And I love the way the frog moved because it was super clumsy.
There you go. Yeah, I think all the movement was really good.
But like the reason why you don't have giant insects like in this modern age is because their lungs and stuff are crap. Basically, they don't process oxygen as efficiently as, like, say, mammalian lungs do.
Okay.
So the only reason why you had giant insects like back in the dinosaur days is because there was a lot more oxygen content in the air back then.
Okay, that's fair. And again, I don't know why we're
science.
I don't know why we're front loading this with the critiques.
I don't know.
No, because I'm going to make one too. I just want to get it out of the way because you brought it up and it triggered a memory I thought I had.
Also, I think there's an issue with giant exoskeletons, but that's insane.
Okay, that might be kind of where I'm going, because you did see, like, the skeleton, like the bones of, like, giant insects and creatures. I guess they could have been the amphibians, though. Do amphibians have skeletal structures?
Are you talking about in the pit?
Well, those were like human bones, but some of the wide shots you would see like giant, like rib cage belly kind of things.
I think those are more exoskeletons and what you're seeing were like probably legs. You know how when you see dead spiders and stuff?
That could be, which is real creepy, and thank God, but also why didn't they give me any giant spider stuff? At least not close up. There was probably some distant stuff. Or giant bees or wasps. We need a sequel to this. Everybody go watch. I need more of this. This was so much fun. But anyways, let's jump into some of the things we loved then. Because it did, again, we really enjoyed the hell out of this, and we had some pretty good expectations, or moderate expectations to fairly higher expectations.
Yeah.
The thing, I guess, okay, so Michael Rooker and Minnow, I'm surprised how they were in the movie a good chunk of it, but how little. Like, I kind of kept, like, if following previous typical movie tropes, once they leave and like, okay, well, we're going to go off this way, kid, I'm expecting them to come save the day. Especially like when Dog shows up at the end. I'm like, Dog went and got him and brought him back, and they're going to come in and save the day. And part of me is like, because I love Michael Rooker and the girl playing Minnow was freaking instantly lovable and adorable.
Yeah.
Part of me is kind of bummed it didn't go that way. But then the more analytical part of me is like, actually, I love that it didn't go that way. It didn't hit that trope.
It made more sense.
It did. It made more sense. And that's what we were talking about in the no spoiler about the final scene being them at the mountains. Like, oh, he might make it in that discussion. That should have been the post-credit scene. Because it felt kind of shoehorned in right before the credits.
Unless the snow spiders again. There's your spiders.
Yeah, which was great. And I'm like, give me that sequel. Asylum, are you out there? Can I have Snow Spider movie, please? But they were fantastic. And it was weird in a good way to see Michael Rooker playing a straight-up good guy. Like, you know, because I'm just so used to him being, even if he's a good guy, he's still kind of a bastard in those roles that he plays, that it's like, oh, he gets to be a good guy. And I love the Rooker, you know that.
Yeah, I mean, he's rather rough around the edges, but he's got every right to be. And
yeah, well, I don't think he was any rougher than anybody else that's living on the surface, really, you know. And I love the idea that he was writing the book with, like, the Kaiju thing, Volume 1. Versus Volume 2 later. I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
And again, sets up a really good sequel. And I like that idea that he's writing all that out for people. Let's see. I'm just going all over the place.
I was thinking, going like, so they need to find a super scientist that can rebuild civilization.
Well, I think the point they were kind of going with at the end is like, well, really, we just need to build defenses against the really angry evil ones. But most of it is just relearning how to live with nature again.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're kind of getting at. So I did appreciate that. And I appreciate they set up the kindness in the eyes thing, so that worked with the crab. Like, I really loved that at the end, the giant crab.
I was looking at
though it has some technical problems.
Yeah, I was looking at the crab going like, oh, you've got some weird looking eyes. And then they did that whole thing. It's like, that's why it's got weird looking eyes.
Well, and they weren't just gianted either, I don't think, all the bugs. I think they were slightly mutated, a lot of the creatures and stuff.
Well, I mean,
not majorly, but so I can get away with that.
Well, like the boulder snail's definitely massively mutated.
Right, or even the frog, like, do they have eye stalk?
No,
right, that's what I'm saying.
No, frogs do not have that.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't think that. That's why I was like, so, you know, they are kind of slightly mutated. So I can go with that. But my thing was more the boat captain, we'll get into that, with the electric chains and him blowing up the chain. And like, well, the crabs, I guess their brains could have been mutated to be more human, because I'm like, the crab didn't even look over and see that that's what the kid did. Like, how did the crab know that? Also, they set that crab up like he's really powerful and he can drag the boat, but I'm like, well, he's not that large. But, you know, and then like he goes and attacks the boat, which is great and so satisfying. But so I guess I had some minor, again, nitpick issues with that. But
relative strength, because, you know, you look at like something like an ant that can, you know, pick up, you know,
that's
100 times its own body weight, or whatever crazy number it is.
That's fair. And you know what? They didn't really do any ants. Well, I guess they kind of did an ant in the beginning. Yeah, they did do an ant in the beginning. But there are so many bugs.
But you didn't get a really good look at, to be honest.
No, which was great, because again, they don't shy away from it. They didn't, and this is PG-13. But it's still creepy as hell, so I really appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Especially as somebody who thinks bugs are creepy in general. I've grown to accept them more in my lifetime and not like just instantly freak out and kill or whatever.
You're doing better.
Well, you know, I have a very inspirational teacher.
I mean, I'm walking along like, ooh, what's that? And he's like, don't touch it!
Well, I've seen enough horror movies to know. But they get right to it, which was also interesting too, because the first like 20 minutes of the movie, I remember from the trailer seeing some stuff from when everything went to hell. And I started thinking, I had a moment of a little bit there where it's like, did we get one of those trailers that has a bunch of cut footage? Like, because it doesn't start in the past. It's already all happened. And then they kind of start dropping in flashbacks, beautifully dropped in. I think the way they put those in were great.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that initially. Like, wait a minute, did the trailer lie? In a good way?
Yeah.
But that was really cool.
Yeah, especially because, like, that makes things like when the when our main character, what?
Joel.
Joel, thank you, is talking to Rooker. Was it
Rooker.
Charles? Charlie? I want to say Chuck.
Did we catch his name?
I'm pretty sure it's a C name.
Anyways, but Rooker. We'll just call him Rooker.
And Rooker's like, holy crap, you actually survived that? Because apparently his hometown was like the epicenter, basically.
Yeah, the Fairfield or whatever.
Now,
that was such a sweet moment.
So I know the comic 616 was definitely an homage to DC Comics.
Oh, no, Marvel.
Is it Marvel?
Hold on, yeah. Don't take away her card. She knows. No, it's Marvel. Marvel has the 616. As a matter of fact, their What If series, I think, is actually being called the 616.
I think the reason why I'm getting confused is because I'm used to watching CW DC shows where they were numbering all the different universes. And I've got a lot more familiarity with that than...
I was 100% sure until she starts saying that. Hold on. We're almost to a break anyways.
Because it's like you had Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth blah, blah, blah.
Right. Marvel Multiverse 616. Earth 616. Marvel Comics.
Okay. All right. So...
Also, no, 606 used to be the area code for here years and years and years ago. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, random side tangent. But yeah, the 616, the comet.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like Fairfield might be an homage to something too, but I just don't remember what.
That's fair. You can let us know in the comments.
Or maybe it's just one of those names.
Yeah, it very well could be. And then again, I think all the performances are great. Joel, you care about Joel right from the start, and I love his character arc. His character arc was very realistic to me.
Yeah.
That young, idealistic lover. Like, actually, I had the thought near the end of this, like, if I had seen this 10 years ago even, I still would have loved it, but it would have hit me even harder emotionally on the romance side of it, with that realization of him finally going on this epic trek to get back to his love after 7 years, and then realizing, oh God, I've been fantasizing and she's had a life and other lovers, and that would have hit me so much harder. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, bro, I mean, life happens. So there is another understanding that comes with, you know.
I had that happen to me once. I was like, I didn't think you were going to move back across the country.
Oh, okay. I was wondering which side you had that happen on, but
that was awkward.
Me. Yeah.
You want
if you have another thought, we can hit it, then we'll...
Shit. I was just going to say, the thing is, Joel's character is very much like Columbus from Zombieland.
Zombieland, yeah.
I mean, they're very similar, but he's less...
I think Joel has a better, more satisfying arc. You know, Columbus doesn't really grow that much.
No, I'm just saying they both kind of start in the same place.
Yes, I will agree with that. They start very much in the same place, but Joel goes where a real person would go.
You know?
Yeah, that's true, because he was learning and writing down the rules and stuff. But he went on an actual journey where by the time things happened, he had really grown and matured. And
I agree
and I loved
with that.
it. And I loved it. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And Amy was really great too. And like even the way, just the subtleties of when they meet up, like how long it takes him to finally be like, hey, by the way, I did all this and trekked all this, and I'm just like, even his awkwardness in that, like, how do I bring up the fact, like, why aren't you like fawning over me because I love you and we need to be
because
kissing?
She's a woman with a bunch of shit to do.
No, exactly. And that's what I loved about that I might not have appreciated as much as I can now. But I thought the subtleties of how they played all that was really beautiful. It's very realistic in this hyper-realistic movie. So I greatly appreciated that. And it wasn't like I'm a badass, I don't need you now. It's like, no, I've grown and I've matured. Like, I care about you. I still really am into you, but I know where we're going, and you know what? I have things I need to take care of now. So I think that was great that they didn't 100% end up together at the end. I think that was great.
But it still kind of left the door open for it's like, now's not the time, but if we live long enough and we meet back up, maybe later.
Right. Love and Monsters Volume 2. I'm down. You know what else I'm down for?
Okay,
that part where we make some money. We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Well, we are? So...
I should have taken a drink during the break.
Oh, you should have. That was a short break. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a break, too. I'm going to take a break, too. Mary, you do the review. We're just going to sit here.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, I was going for the joke because we both drank. You know what we need to talk about?
What?
The captain.
Oh,
the boat captain and his crew, and what we initially thought was going on.
That charming piece of...
And I love that Joel was like, oh God, oh no, because he was having that whole fantasy when he found out survivors had come to save them. Like, are they my age? Are they young? Are they hot? Is she gonna fall in love with him?
Yeah.
And then he meets him and thinks that. But then the captain is so nice to Joel. Both of us are like,
is he hitting on?
Is he hitting on Joel? Is that gonna be the reveal? Because that would be kind of cool.
No. Joel would have preferred it if he was being hit on.
Yeah, compared to what happened. But I love that reveal too, that it was the berries. I thought, oh, that was some great like foreshadowed setup that didn't feel like foreshadowed setup.
Yeah.
Like they feel like they set it up and then paid it off already, and that was just a moment because the dog told them. But then for that to come back around, that's how he realizes something ain't right here. That was great. And then when the crab's taking down the boat and the male henchman, I can't think of what they called him.
Bruno or something like that.
But his little eye, like right as the crabs comes, like, oh, we're gonna die. This is the day we die. Today we die. Like it's like kind of nonchalant, but terrified. That was brilliant too.
Yeah, that was. I would have almost been tempted to jump off the other side of the ship and see if the crab was too distracted.
Right. And again, here is another minor nitpick, but I can also see the characters' motivations in this. But it's like if somebody comes up and like, hey, we're gonna save you. We're gonna get on this yacht. We're gonna go out in the ocean. It's like. This affected like sea life too. We already know this. And aquatic life. What makes you think the fucking ocean is safe? Do you want Mega Shark? Because this is how you get Mega Shark.
No, actually, I would have been suspicious because it's basically a colony of old people. And I would have serious, in that particular situation, I'd be like, do I really want to take that on? The answer is probably not, because that's more or less a lot of dead weight. That's why Amy is just working her ass off, is because she's taking care of all these people.
So you're saying the captain, hold on. I'm having to run some loops here. So what you're saying, I think I follow you.
If the captain came in and he really was...
You should be suspicious because the captain was trying to help, and you should expect that the captain doesn't think these are people worth helping. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying... If it were me, I'm just going like, hi, nice to meet you. I'll trade for some supplies and go off because I don't want to take care of a bunch of old people.
But also in a world where 95% and this guy is pretending to be altruistic and all that. Like, I mean, come on. Plus, Amy is so tired and looking for any out.
Yeah, I know, and I think that may have.
So I can follow that.
Her
I think you're being Mary in that. You're not being the characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was great.
Yeah, I would end up helping the old people because that's how my life seems to go.
I'm sorry, Mary. I'm sorry. Get off my lawn. I can say that now. Although the kids across the street are cool, so it's all fine.
It's a little unnerving that they don't get in the lawn.
No, you weren't here. They have. I have Ring doorbell footage that's really adorable. I'll tell you about that. It doesn't matter here. But movie. Oh God, I know I had more.
So the captain.
Oh well, I covered pretty much what I'm going to say there. I liked all that. I think all that was great. I love the running gag about are you a food thief? Are you a food thief? And then it turns out it's like the captain. He's a food thief. I did not see that twist on that joke coming, and that was a brilliant twist on that joke. I thought. But Rooker and the little girl. You know something I thought about with Minnow that I thought was really adorable is I feel like her attachment to Joel was that her kind of hitting that age where I can speak to boys,
She's
not necessarily to girls.
8
No,
years old.
I'm not getting creepy. I'm not getting creepy with it. I'm legitimately being sweet.
Okay.
Because I mean, I assume young girls they have romance about like wanting to be in love. I'm not being like, okay, I'm probably talking to the wrong one. But little girls read about like being princesses and rescued by the charming prince and want to fall in love and get married and happily ever after. Okay. That's where I'm going for. I'm not saying she's that character. You're jumping to conclusions before I can even start to make my point. I just see it in your face and where you're going.
Let me point out something. She was 1 year old when the world went to hell.
Right.
So she probably did not have all that stuff.
Which is not what I'm saying. I'm just having to explain because you think I'm going somewhere
culturally taught, and I don't think she was in an environment that would have taught that.
Yes, that is culturally taught. But human beings, Mary, you may not relate to this. Want to fall in love, and at a younger age, both men and women.
At 8.
It may not be real love. I'm not talking like real love, like I want to get married. That more fanciful love, like the point I'm trying to, what I took from it, what I thought And you know what? The actor who played the girl, who she saw my trailer reaction, she loved it. If you happen to see this, feel free to comment and let us know your motivation. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. But I got a sense that part of her connection with Joel was she was developing a bit of a crush. And she was sensing that maybe one day I could grow up and I could, because she was so against Amy and like so aggravated that he wants to go off and, I don't know, I just kind of read into it, this little vibe of it's like, but there's so few young, cute boys. And it's like, he's young and cute and he's nice to me and he has this awesome dog. And maybe someday we can grow up because the world is like 5% of the population. That's what I got from it. That's not the
interpretation I would take.
Well, yeah, but you're a cold, heartless...
If she reacted to your other video, maybe she'll react to this and set me straight.
No, or maybe she'll be like, no, your lady's right, which is totally fine. And again, it is art, and this is one of the things I love about it, that you can take, you cannot put that into it, I can put that into it. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, and I was not trying to be creepy with it. Yeah. I am creepy about a lot of things. I'm typically not creepy about children and sexuality. It's just weird. But and of course now I'm thinking about that video that I keep driving you crazy with, which is not really sexuality. It's God damn it.
Maybe you should stop talking.
Yeah, you just sent me on the weirdest of tangents. I'm talking about that butthole song anyways. Now it's back in your head.
You asshole.
Yeah, I wonder what's inside you. Anyways, but she was great. I love that interpretation. I loved her kind of wildling-ish, like just that I am a creature of the wild vibe to her was really cute. And just that running internal monologue that was always coming out of her mouth, I thought was adorable.
I also thought she was kind of Rooker's like hype girl. Because she was like constantly parroting him.
Right? Yeah, she was totally doing hype man on him. That was great. Yeah, that was so much fun too. And even just Rooker, well, I can't teach you everything. And then some of those rules were great. You can either have a hot meal or a good night's sleep, because if we have a hot meal, they're going to smell it and they're going to be here in an hour. So even things like that I thought were pretty great. We're getting near the end here. What else do I want to rave or talk about?
So... Okay, how about the robots?
Oh, okay, we definitely want to get to that. Make my short point, and then we'll talk about the robots. My short point, because I mentioned this in no spoilers, at the end, when he comes back to his old colony, which is great, and you see like the entrance totally broken over and turned down, that's where I was saying it's like, I kind of feel like a couple of those people shouldn't have been there. If they went through something like that knocked over that entrance, somebody had to die in that story we didn't see.
I'm not sure all of them were there.
I feel like they were, but maybe, again, super minor nitpick. But yes, the robots. This was the other thing I was talking about that feels like a video game element, and not in a bad way, but like, because it's like, wait a minute, they had robots in this universe before the end of the world? Because obviously they couldn't have made the robots after the end of the world.
They didn't give us a date.
Right, that's true. But everything felt of modern time in those brief moments you saw people panicking and running away.
But the thing is, it could still be maybe 10 years in the future and still feel roughly the same.
That's true. The robots were adorable, though.
Yeah, but because we finally, the whole thing is at the beginning, it's like, oh, I've never found that one of these actually worked. But then he found one that worked, and then it brought you to the point where you cried.
Yeah, which I'll get to. But you know what the robot reminded me of?
What?
If Evie from WALL-E and C-3PO had a baby.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah. But yeah, what got me crying, she starts showing the pictures of his family, and it's like his mom in the face, and she asked them the question, like, what would you say to your mom if you could say anything to her right now? And then my brain was just like wanting to be like, look, Mom, I'm happy, and you would love her, and you both would give me so much shit that I would want to die. But no, but yeah, that really got me. I think it would have got me anyways, but it really got me because,
it almost got me.
Yeah, I could kind of tell there were some snivels over there. But yeah, and I mean, and it was just a beautiful moment too. And then like the sky jellyfish.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. And the robot giving up her power, and the dog named Boy, which is great, brings the foot.
Where's a good boy?
You found my foot.
Boy?
Which brings me to the Blair Witch game I'm playing on Patreon, where the dog is like, good boy, good boy. But yeah, that was really cool, but also kind of one of those weird elements, but it fit. It wasn't out of place for the movie. It was just like, oh, cool.
I can almost see a joke in the next movie if somebody else has a dog.
Girl? Okay, what are you going for?
Or if it's also a boy, and because it's good boy is what you normally say to a dog.
So there's boy and good boy?
The dog's going to be very confused, going like, he keeps saying my name, but he's talking to this other dog. I don't know.
What if there's like, we're writing the sequel now, there's a dog rivalry because Joel and Amy, they've hooked up and like they're really taking a shine to good boy more than boy, and boy's getting jealous, but at the end of the day, like good boy leaves them hanging in a situation and boy comes to save the day. I'd watch the hell out of that. There's so much potential for sequels. Because then even, that reminded me, like, one of those things that's just like world building that I wanted to know more, but we didn't need to know more for the sake of the story. When we were talking about the robot and the foot and the, I don't remember what it is, but all that stuff was really cool. The idea of colonies and the colony names being the radio frequencies, that was a stroke of genius. I have nothing but good things to say about this movie. Anything negative, like I said, super minor nitpick just to point out, like, well, I did have this thought. Didn't ruin any of the experience at all. Super happy to have done this. I'd buy t-shirts. I'd go to see a sequel. And like I said, my only real complaint is this should have been an 8 to 12 hour single story campaign video game.
Yeah.
And my concern is that it would have had a bigger legacy if it had been that. Because this would have been something as beloved as like The Last of Us or something like that. Whereas I'm concerned, particularly because pandemic-wise, no theaters, this is one of those movies that's going to get kind of swept under the rug for people. And I'm like, don't. This is like one of those kind of like sleeper, feel-good, fun time hits that you could really use right now. So, but that's my take on it.
I still think the elevator pitch was Zombieland, but with monsters.
Yeah, that is certainly one way you could do the pitch. I wonder if Ryan George, I wonder if he'll do a pitch meeting video for this. I'd love to see that, but that's just me.
Oh, my leg's asleep.
Oh, her leg's asleep. So that's a scene. You got anything else? I think we hit all the big beats. As usual, when this is over, we'll cut the camera and be like, oh, I meant to talk about that. Damn it.
I'm trying to think.
I got nothing. Oh, I know the thing I was talking about, the world building I wanted to remember, is I would have liked to know more about Boy's previous owner. That's also a sequel element you could bring in. The previous owner did exist, but just got separated. And then somehow they reconnect, and now Joel has to get jealous of Boy's relationship with the previous owner. Anyways, we got ideas. I'm sure y'all have better ideas, but if you need writers and people in the writer's room, I know how to format scripts.
Hey, this isn't as bad as, was it Hide and Seek? Where we like completely rewrote the movie. Oh
yeah, I think that was the one where we completely rewrote the movie. That was a rewrite too. That wasn't a here's what the sequel should be. But anyway, so let us know. This is the spoiler video. Feel free to talk spoilers up and down. What was your favorite moment about this? What would you love to see in a sequel? How did you feel about it? All that kind of stuff. Geek out with us in the comments. We love hearing what you have to say. Other than that, you can click that thumbs up button and give us that good old thumb of encouragement, as we do love to be encouraged. And of course, check out the Patreon. Movie reviews, food vlog, that kind of stuff. Video game Let's Plays. I'm playing Blair Witch. I'm playing Star Wars Squadrons VR with the thruster and the flight stick and the pedals and just having a hell of a time. So all that stuff, you get extra video every day for $1 a month. Lots of fun stuff. If you want to, no pressure. Look up TheEricButts. Use the links in the description below. All that said and done, I guess we're going to get out of here. I don't know what the next movie we'll watch is. The next 2 weekends, we might be busy, so I don't know if we can do... Next week, maybe, if there's something. But Halloween weekend, I know we got plans. Some for you, some for us. But we will try to keep these movie reviews happening each week as best we can. Mm-hmm. But, you know, big movies aren't really coming out. It's kind of making it difficult.
Yeah.
Although...
You want to start plugging what we're going to do? So
no, because I don't want to... I haven't 100% committed to us actually doing it yet.
Oh.
Well, here's... Okay. May or may not happen. Theoretically, next Saturday is Scarioke. Theoretically, it could fall apart. The Friday after that, the day before Halloween, theoretically, Rocky Horror Picture Show Drunken Movie Night. But it could still fall apart.
After dark.
After dark, because it's Rocky Horror Picture Show and then the Rocky Horror Porno Show. I forget what it's actually called, but the porno version of Rocky Horror. We aren't showing it to you. You got to get your own copy.
Yeah.
But we will be reacting to it live. Probably with Deb. We'll see.
Yeah. Right at 30 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
Probably with death. Actually, I'll leave that in on the overexposed little camera down here because it's funny. But all right, so that's it. We're getting out of here. I've already said all the wrap up. Jesus, see, how dare? Let me get all bit. Oh yeah, Patreon, so we can get her a bigger chair. I forgot about that. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go watch some more stuff, and we'll see you all later.